Good evening, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. An academic believes that Bersatu sacking its renegade representatives will not trigger by-elections and will instead weaken the party's position in PN. Experts have claimed that Bersatu's move to sack its renegade representatives would not trigger a by-election. Instead, they said it would weaken the party's bargaining power with its coalition partners. Experts interviewed by Malaysiakini said the 6 MPs and 1 state assemblyperson will remain as independent members if ejected by Bersatu. According to International Islamic University Malaysia Associate Professor of Political Science Shazza Shukri, if Bersatu loses these 6 MPs, it won't change much in terms of the political strength of the opposition since they have already pledged support to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. She said that it will further reduce Bersatu's negotiation power with PAS within Perikatan Nasional and entrench PAS as the big brother in the coalition. She was referring to Bersatu Youth Chief Wan Ahmad Faisal Wan Ahmad Kamal's statement on Sunday, saying that his party will inform Dewan Rakyat Speaker Johari Abdul in this month's sitting of the 6 MPs' party membership revocation. This came after 7 elected representatives did not respond to the letter issued by Bersatu's Secretary General Hamzah Zainuddin to all party members demanding affirmation of their loyalty by May 31st. Bersatu is seeking to vacate the seats of the turncoat MPs by filing a notice to the Dewan Rakyat. However, political scientist Wong Chin Huat believes that the latest development will lead to by-elections in Bukit Gantang, Kuala Kangsar, Labuan, Tanjung Karang and Selat Kelang. He said this is because the 4 MPs and 1 state assemblyperson were elected as PN members and their membership in the coalition came from Bersatu. If you want access to news like this and to read the full story with views from other individuals on the issue, subscribe now to Malaysiakini and support independent media. Next, a lawyer has claimed that MCMC blocked his Facebook post criticizing Yeoh over the Asia mobility issue. A lawyer has claimed that one of his Facebook posts on the Asia Mobility Technology Sendirian Berhad issue has been blocked. Shamsher Singh Thind claimed that this was due to a legal request from the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission. In a post on Facebook, he questioned if Deputy Communications Minister Tioni Ching was involved in the matter. He said this is as she had defended Youth and Sports Minister Yeoh against alleged nepotism in the demand-responsive transit program involving the company linked to Yeoh's husband. He said DAP always talks about open tenders, so of course he would ask what was open about the DRT scandal as there was no tender and question if it was wrong. He added that he will be sending a letter to Facebook to verify the legal request that the social media company had received. On June 1st, Yeoh said she welcomed the MACC probe into the DRT project. She said that it would not be appropriate for her to comment on the matter as it may be construed as an interference with ongoing investigations. Previously, Bernama reported Selangor Investment, Trade and Mobility Committee Chairperson Ng Si Han as saying that the Asia Mobility's appointment was done through a request for proposal and not through direct negotiation as alleged. Meanwhile, Asia Mobility said everything was done above board and is considering legal action against those casting aspersions about the appointment process. Zaid Ibrahim has urged the media to band together and oppose censorship. He cited the press conference by a disabled e-hailing driver who had been assaulted, which was held last week. Zaid Ibrahim has urged the media editors to come together to oppose censorship collectively. In a post on X, he cited the blackout by main media outlets of the press conference by the disabled e-hailing driver who was allegedly assaulted by an escort of Johor Region Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim. He said all the major platforms did not carry his statement except Malaysiakini, the Malaysian Insight and The Vibes. He questioned who gave the instruction and said that it's easy to blame the editors as chickens, but they have families to feed. Zaid also stressed the importance of removing censorship, citing the reforms after the Suharto rule as an example. He also lamented that the Sedition Act and gag orders are still widely used. Amid the hopeless situation, Zaid urged editors from all news outlets, no matter how big or small, to come together to oppose censorship. He said the media profession to tell the truth is an honorable one. The least they can do is try to protect the profession from getting worse. Checks by Malaysiakini found that others who reported on the press conference include Sinar Harian, Sinchu Daily, Nanyang Siang Pao, China Press, Guangming Daily, Quang Wah Yit Po, and Malaysia Now. BDS Malaysia has responded to Teuku Zafrul on why BlackRock is being targeted for boycotts. The Malaysian chapter of the global boycott, divest, sanction, BDS movement has explained why US-based investment company BlackRock is being targeted for boycotts by pro-Palestine activists and not Apple. BDS Malaysia said the movement is targeting BlackRock because it has a significant stake in companies supplying weapons to Israel, namely Lockheed Martin, RTX, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and General Dynamics. BDS Malaysia said this after Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Teuku Zafrul Abdul Aziz defended a consortium's bid to privatize Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad. It explained that BlackRock has also made substantial investments in Israel and claimed that BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is a vocal supporter of Israel. It added that the BDS movement adopts a strategy of targeted boycott, where only a selected number of companies will be targeted for boycott efforts. This is based on several criteria, including the level of complicity, availability of choice for consumers, and probability of success. Based on this, the group said the global BDS movement is not calling for the boycott of Apple products, WhatsApp, or Facebook. BDS Malaysia then urged Zafrul to reconsider allowing BlackRock to own shares in MAHP, which manages 39 airports in Malaysia. On Sunday, Zafrul had reportedly emphasized that BlackRock is not Israeli-owned. He said sovereign wealth funds from Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar also have stakes in BlackRock's shareholding. He also highlighted that BlackRock is one of Apple's largest shareholders and questioned why those who feel strongly about it are still using Apple products. Najib Abdul Razak's defense team sees the 1MDB trial going until 2026. His lawyer said this during the IPIC trial today. Najib Abdul Razak's lead defense counsel Muhammad Shafi Abdullah foresees that the 2.27 billion ringgit 1MDB abuse of power and money laundering trial against him may spill over into 2026. This is if the former Prime Minister is ordered to enter his defense. Shafi mentioned this during today's separate criminal court proceedings against Najib linked to the International Petroleum Investment Company. Last week during proceedings before the Kuala Lumpur High Court, the prosecution closed its case in the 2.27 billion ringgit 1MDB case against Najib. Trial Judge Colin Lawrence Sequeira had fixed August 19th to 22nd for oral submissions for the prosecution and defense. A separate date will be set after that to decide whether Najib needs to enter his defense to the 4 abuse of power charges and 21 money laundering counts. If Najib is ordered to enter his defense in the 1MDB case, the defense stage of trial would begin. However, if the criminal found the prosecution failed to raise a prima facie case, Najib would be discharged and acquitted of all 26 charges linked to 1MDB. Shafi had cited the 1MDB case as among the reasons to postpone the IPIC trial initially scheduled for today. The court had allowed an adjournment to June 19 for the IPIC trial. Meanwhile, the IPIC trial has been postponed to June 19th. The court permitted the 2-week adjournment request, following no objections being raised by the prosecution. The trial of the 6.6 billion ringgit criminal breach of trust case against former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak and former Treasury Secretary General Muhammad Irwan Sarigar Abdullah has been postponed to June 19th. The case was initially scheduled for today. The Kuala Lumpur High Court allowed the postponement application this morning because the 2 accused's defense teams had yet to be provided with documents related to the 48 prosecution witnesses. Lawyers Muhammad Shafi Abdullah and K. Kumarindran informed the trial court that the defense teams had not been provided with emails, letters, and memos of cabinet meetings that the prosecution witnesses would cite. Najib and Irwan were first charged in October 2018. The trial has yet to commence over the past nearly 6 years due to Najib's various other ongoing criminal cases. The criminal case against Najib and Irwan mainly revolved around 1MDB's dealings with IPIC, particularly a 2017 settlement between the 2 parties in which the troubled Malaysian sovereign fund paid $1.2 billion to the Abu Dhabi state-owned company. On October 25, 2018, before the Sessions Court, Najib and Irwan pleaded not guilty to 6 counts of CBT of 6.6 billion ringgit of funds belonging to the government. The case was later transferred to the High Court. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to Malaysiakini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.